Good morning. Um, this is Jermain again with answering basic questions of life. The question for today is, what can you do today that you could not do a while ago? Like maybe a couple years ago. And I have to say that my answer would be walking. At a certain time, I was 350 pounds. Um, my main mode of transportation, I either have to take the bus or I have to walk. I don't specifically like taking rides or asking for rides because that infringes, to me, it feels like it infringes on other people. So I like to, well, I don't really like to, but I have taken up walking. Um, where I live and where I am right now, it's about 2 miles. So I get up and walk every day 2 miles to where I'm at now, which would be my local church. Um, but yeah, I do that every day. A, because it has internet and I don't have internet where I live. Um, so it's kind of a motivator. If you want to use the internet, you'll get off your butt and you'll go walk and get to use it. Not, so that is a motivator. And from where I walk, it's 2 miles. Um, I have to use a cane because of my leg. Plus, I use a blind ID cane, so that helps me um, get across the street. And I will be talking about that in one of my later blogs about the cane um, but that's how I basically get around. I walk there and I walk home late at night. That's one thing I like about where I live in Mount Pleasant. Um, I have no worries about walking home by myself. So um, that's basically what I do. But anyway, I was at one time 350 pounds. And so I had the gastric bypass in Anchorage, Alaska Bariatric Center. Dr. Michael Todd was my surgeon. Sad thing is, I don't even remember when my date for surgery was. But yes, before I was 350 pounds. I'm not sure how much I am now, but it's been beneficial. The only drawback from the surgery is um, I am depressed. And the reason that is happening is because every time I think my weight fluctuates, it does something to the chemicals in my brain, and so I may be depressed or whatever. I'm not suicidal. I don't wish to kill myself, and that's going to be in another video, and I'm going to explain why in that video. But so yeah, I was up to 350 pounds. It was so bad. I used to work at a place in Alaska, first student, which was I was a bus attendant on a bus, but I would walk from my where I was living there to the bus stop, which was to the bus employment place, which really wasn't that far. Um, but it got so bad that I would literally, and this is embarrassing, I would literally have to drop and lay down to ease the pain. Um, when I was younger, as a baby, I had hip dysplasia, and I still do, and it's going up into my adulthood. And so I think that was part of my issue was the hip dysplasia and that causing issues with my hip. And so it would pain me to walk, it would pain me to do any activity. It's not that bad now. It still hurts, but I want to walk because it helps get the weight off. I wish I could go in for a tummy tuck because I have my original 350 pounds just hanging off me. I know that's a visual you don't want to see or imagine, but that's the truth. But it's been awesome. I've been able to walk the 2 miles every day. It hurts a little bit, but not as much. I want to get walking so later on down the road, if the hip dysplasia gets worse, I can still be able to make it. But yeah, so that is my journey. That's one thing I've been able to do today, meaning in this present time, that I wasn't able to do back, like, say, 2005 and earlier. Um, but I love to walk. If I knew my directions, which I'm not very good at, I would walk a couple miles each day, because another thing is when I walk, I'm not out of breath. I'm not, exhausted, tired. Um, and so depending on what I drink, my combination of, if I do caffeine or whatever, even though I'm not supposed to really do caffeine, but the caffeine helps my hip. It takes away the pain, but my only thing is, I think I have overactive bladder, which I have a doctor. I'm going to go in, well, I don't have a doctor yet, but I'm going to go in and see a doctor. But I think I have overactive bladder, and so I have to, whatever I drink, I have to make sure that I void before going on these long walks, or I'm in a deep load of trouble. But besides that issue, I have to fuel up my body, and I usually eat apples. I was eating bread, but that's another thing with the surgery. I think I'm having kickbacks of celiac disease. I'm not sure, but I'm going to have that checked when I go to my doctor. But overall, things are awesome. I know I complain a lot, maybe, if you're a regular with me on Facebook. I do write things up on the wall, and part of me is lonely. I don't really have any hangout friends here where I live. And so, you know, that's part of my issue. So I don't really get out and visit. I want to make friends, but, you know, I've got to find some civic organization. I do have friends here at church, but, you know. But anyway, I will wrap this up by saying thank you for tuning in, and share with me um, some of your experiences, some things that you see back then that you weren't able to do, but you're able to do them now. God bless you. Have a glorious day and a glorious week.